Hello tarot readers, today I'm going to talk about which is the best deck to start practicing your tarot with. You want to learn tarot and you're not sure which deck to choose. Now, a lot of tarot readers that come to me at that point, some of them have decks at home that they've been gifted, and others have decks that they've bought because they've just fallen in love with the images. But the problem is not all decks, even though they could be great working decks, not all decks are really good to study with. So what I would suggest is you try working with any deck that you have, that you like, that you've fallen in love with. And if you find that your pace is really off, that you're not studying it the way you want to do, or that it's just really hard for you to connect the meaning of the cards with the cards that you have, maybe it's not the right deck for you to study with. So I would put that deck aside, and then we're going to talk about the two basic decks. I mean, there's loads of them out there, but two basic systems that there is in the tarot world which are quite well known for studying the tarot with. First of all, we have a Marseilles type deck. A Marseilles type deck, the images will be quite recognisable. This is the Devil card, the Judgment card. You've probably seen these images in quite a lot of places. The Moon card, very old tarot cards, and these are great to study with. But the problem with these cards, for some tarot readers and for other tarot readers, they see it as a blessing with the cards, is that this is basically all you're going to get on the images of the minors. So say, for example, this is the Six of Swords. That is all we're going to get on the Six of Swords. 6 swords with a few leaves and a few flowers around. And this is what happens with all the minor cards, because as you know, the tarot, well, as you may know, the tarot is, if you don't, I'm going to tell you now, the tarot deck is 78 cards, but we cut them into two. We cut them into majors and minors. The major cards, 22 major cards, all have images on them. They all have things like we've just seen there, the Wheel of Fortune. They all have these kind of images. But the minor cards in the Marseilles, 56 minor cards, other than the court cards, they've just got these. So really, this is the Six of Coins. And it's not going to tell you much of a story. It's a clean sheet. You look at that, you learn the Six of Coins, and you connect it. Some tarot readers love this way of working, love this way of studying, because it gives them a blank canvas to basically put what they want on there. 6 coins, it doesn't tell a story. The other way, and the way that I found is the most common with my students and the people in my tarot world, and it doesn't mean it's the right way, it just means it's the way that's very common for me, is the Rider-Waite deck. Now, there's loads of these Rider-Waite decks. Some of them are called Rider-Waite, some of them are called Waite-Smith, Smith-Waite, there's many names, but basically we're looking for a Rider-Waite type deck. And this is a basic Rider-Waite. The one I use is the Radiant Rider-Waite, and the only difference is the colours are more radiant. The blue's more blue, the yellow's more yellow. That's the only real difference with these and these. And what happens with the Rider-Waite, whereas we've just seen we've got coins, this is the 6 of coins, with the Marseilles just 6 coins. With the Rider-Waite deck, the minor cards have all got little stories on them. They've got pictures, they've got scenes, active scenes going on. So this is the 5 of coins. So immediately, before we even open a book, before we're given our first lesson, before we know anything about keywords or memorising the cards, anything, just by looking at the picture, it's giving us a feeling, it's giving us an emotion, it's giving us a story. These little scenes help us to create a story of the meaning of the card. So this 5 of coins, already we've got 2 vagabond people, 2 tramp people. They look like they've been abandoned, they're in the cold, they're in the snow. Even the church hasn't let them inside. And one of them looks very, very sick. He's got crutches, he's got a bad leg. So we can see that destitute in these cards already. Whereas with the coins in the Marseilles, we can. So it's up to you what kind of person you are, what's your character type. If you'd rather have blank cards with just the coins on, or a few leaves and work with that, or you'd rather have the images more clearer on every card. Of course, the major cards are still going to have images on it, exactly the same as the Marseillaise. All the major cards, that's the strength. And you've got your knights, your kings, your queens. They always have them on anyway. But this is the temperance card. But it's the minor cards that make the big difference. So, for example, we've got here some swords. Which one's this? The Six of Swords, like I've just said. And here we have the Ten of Swords. So this Ten of Swords, we've got 10 swords stabbed in somebody's back. The person's on the ground, lying in a blanket, a red blanket, representing, you know, that energy that's lost, that energy that's gone. Looks like blood bleeding out of the back. It's a very dramatic card. But just looking at the image tells a scene. I can't really tell people, you know, you go with the Marseillaise type, go with the Rider-Waite type, because it wouldn't be fair. Everybody's got to do what feels right to them as a tarot reader. But I do recommend mostly people try with the Rider-Waite. And the reason I recommend that, because I do know a lot of people that have been studying with the Marseillaise, and this isn't everybody obviously, but I know a lot of people that have studied with the Marseillaise. They found it very, very, very hard. They haven't really advanced very much. And the moment they switch over to a Rider-Waite type deck, that we've got 10 of wands here, and you can see he's really pushing over all his limits. He's very burdened with all these wands. They're looking heavy. They're feeling heavy. He looks exhausted. Well, they tell us a story immediately. So people who go with this deck does tend to jump a little bit quicker in the learning. Like I said, that's not everybody, but a lot of people do. So I recommend trying with the cards you've got at home, if you've got a deck of cards. If that's not quite fitting with you to study with, then by all means try a Marseillaise or a Rider-Waite. I use the Radiant Rider, but any Rider-Waite deck, and find out which one connects to you the most. If you like the images, the Three of Cups, you can see a celebration going on there. You know, it's really, really easy to see. Whereas in this Three of Cups, you'd have to really know what the meaning of the card is and connect it with that. Or if you're just using your intuition and you're not you're learning through an actual system, then that may be perfect for you. But of course, this doesn't really scream of the celebration that little scene does. It's a celebration between friends. Look at them having a drink, having a laugh, saying cheers, having a really good time. So the Rider-Waite type decks, for me, is an amazing deck to learn with. Of course, with all the tarot cards that I have, I've got lots and lots of tarot cards. You may wonder why I don't suggest one of them kind of decks, any other kind of deck. And I don't see the point in it, because once you learn the tarot with a Rider-Waite deck, you can basically pick up any deck of cards that you want, and you will be able to understand the meaning, because the Three of Cups, you know, this card will mean the same no matter what the picture is. You'll have that connection. You'll have that installed into your memory. So you'll know by looking at any other Three of Cups, you'll just know this is my celebration card. This is the cheers card. Everybody's having fun card. So I don't recommend, there's amazing decks out there, beautiful decks, but I don't recommend you just choose the nicest deck to study with. I recommend you choose the deck that works the best to study with. Afterwards, you can pick up any deck of cards you want. I hope that was a little bit helpful, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you very much. Also, if you go to my website, I do have a free tarot guide that you can download. So just click on my website and you'll see there a free tarot guide for the basics of tarot, which includes the meaning, the keywords of every card, the 78 cards, just the keywords and a few tips that will help you along your tarot journey. Thank you very much, and I'll see you next time.